So, one of my favorite pastimes is growing things, gardening, reusing and recycling things that I already have. And back in October of 2025, I made a pivot, and so I went from full time teaching to just a break. And then I did some TA, which is teacher assisting for a period of time. And then I did some substitute teaching across the K 12, you know, school. But anywho, I love watching the reels and the YouTube videos and just other, social media type stuff. And I noticed that there's all kinds of growers and gardeners out there. You got the bougie gardener, you got the ghetto gardener, you got the drunk gardener, you got the drinking gardener, you got the chaos gardener, you got the plus size plant mama, you got the homesteads, you have people that have named their gardens. And so, when I'm doing my gardening thing, I always kind of try to figure out, like, what would I call mine? I've got this thing where I call it the Book of Georgia. And so there's 14 chapters. And there's 14 chapters because I was born October 14th. So I have a chapter topic for each of the chapters. Now, mind you, the more I read it, the more I don't like it, or I just don't think it's relevant to my current day, right? It's like I redo it, and then I just kind of put it to the side, and then I kind of want to change it all together because life is full of changes. But I would describe myself as the creative gardener and the try anything that comes to mind kind of gardener. And then I like to try the things that I see other people doing. I like a try and like a trial and error. Like, I just give it a try and see what happens. And so I'm definitely a frugal gardener because I think that any hobby can be costly. Any hobby can be I won't say expensive, but everything costs money. And so even though you might say, you start out and you say, okay, I have a budget and I'm going to allot maybe this amount of money for gardening per month. It could be $50. So to me, that's step one. How much am I going to invest in this hobby? And then you have to ask yourself, does my hobby bring back something? Because sometimes, your hobby can be profitable. So long story short, I have not named my garden. I don't call it like, hey, I'm about to go out to I don't say George's Gardener or the Heart Garden or the Lighthouse Garden. I don't do that. I don't have a sign that says, welcome to Mama's Garden. I don't have that or anything like that. I can't say that I've given myself a cliche name just yet as far as my garden is concerned, because I feel like I'm still kind of finding myself. Even though I grew up around gardens and people growing things, the way in which people grew things when I was a little girl, people have expanded that tremendously. And so it's something that I'm kind of, exploring in some instances for the first time. My mom, she feels like, anytime you have a seed, it ought to go in the ground. She don't believe in containers and transplanting. If she gonna transplant, she gonna transplant from a particular place on land to a new place. But as far as going from those biodegradable cups, and she don't believe in any of that. But let me tell you who always gets some of my starter plants and stick in the ground. Yes, she does. So even though she is sort of anti in the beginning, she will ask me, do you have any tomato plants? Do you have any okra plants? And she'll take what I have and she'll use it for her garden or what have you. So it's funny. but I know kind of what's going to happen. So I do it anyway, because I feel like there's nothing wrong with extending knowledge. And when you've learned a certain amount of something from one person, if you keep going through life, you're going to meet new people and you're going to learn even more. And so basically, I have containers that I grow things in. And then I have like tires that were already in the yard that I grow things in. If I see a basket and it's 99 cents from a secondhand store, I will use that and put some kind of cloth in there to make the dirt kind of stay in place. And mind you, if I'm cutting leaves or branches, I keep all the old pieces. And so if I have a large container, at the bottom I'm going to put the tree pieces, the branches. If I have some leaves, I'm gonna put that in there. I keep all cardboard. I put cardboard in there. So I usually fill the container up halfway with just nature kind of stuff. And then I'll put soil sometimes halfway up, and sometimes even a 1/4 of the way up. So it just depends on what I want to plant in there. Now, if I'm gonna use it for a container that I'm gonna grow kind of surface level things like greens and things that go up, I will do a 1/4 soil and up. But like if it's carrots or something that's roots and then it's at the bottom, then I normally only use cardboard, or if I do use some limbs and branches, it'll be just a bottom layer, a very small layer. So right now, being that we've gotten so much rain, so we got rain. I mean, rain. Thank you for the rain, but goodness gracious. Usually when it rains a lot, the gardens come alive. I mean, they just become so beautiful. And then there is a such thing as too much water. And so a lot of people might lose some of their plants due to the large amounts of water. Now, if you've got the kind of containers where you push the sides, the water will drip off to the side. So you could release some water. I would even suggest if you have a container and you have standing water in there, I would literally tip the container over and I would let some of that water just kind of run out. Or I would get a cup and I would take it to a drier spot perhaps, or some kind of spot that does not get the water because it's like under a porch or something. Because rainwater is really good. It's the best. But I also would recommend whenever we start having rain, or just as a rule of thumb in general, you want to always have you some seeds or starting so that there will be this continuous growing. So you won't just have what's in the ground. You won't just have what's in the pot or the container. You'll have some things that are growing on the inside of the house. Now, and the purpose is if you get a spot out there, something dies, you just kind of take something from indoors and put it outside. Sometimes it'll grow, and sometimes you'll share stuff like this, but basically use it as fillers. Now, I do have two areas outside where I actually planted things in the ground. But I tell you should see it. It actually has so much grass. I suck at making sure I got straight rows and no grass growing. I mean, you got to look and find my plant rows because the grass is everywhere. Because it's like I haven't gone out there and chopped it, and then I did not put down that black landscape fabric. Although I did get some, because the next time I plant in the ground, I'm definitely going to have some garden fabric, the black covering. I'm definitely going to put that down, and then I'm going to only open the hole up for the actual seed or the plant that's going to be there. And then that should make that a little bit easier. So yeah. So right now I'm sort of like just a creative gardener. And then like if you ever Google, a creative gardener, I guarantee you there's already 10. They just got to, they got extra names like Carol, the creative gardener or something like that. But I remember updating my TikTok and my Instagram, and then I was like Garden Girl G. Because I was sort of like feeling a little pressure to put a name on it, like, So I think I said Garden Girl G and Garden Girl, and then I realized, okay, there's already Garden Girl out there, so I had to be Garden Girl G. Anywho, y'all. So what I did inside, being that I can't get outside to do the outdoor stuff. I've been starting some seedlings inside. So I put the soil into the containers, but I have not put the seeds in. And here is also where I'm going to be testing to see why some plants I'm not successful with them just yet. So having them in a seed starter container, I get to kind of look a little closer and just see whether it's the kind of seed, the brand of seed. And so I feel like I do a few experiments along the way as well. Now, I know you guys know that everything's going up. So I have seeds that I have paid $4 packs for $1. Then I've got seeds 3 for $1. 3 packs for $1. Then some of my seeds now have 3 for $1.50. And then, I got some 50-cent seeds. And, my point is, even though what I grow, I get seeds from what I grow, I feel like now is the time to go ahead and get more seeds. And I'm going to tell you why I think now is the time. I feel like if you get it now, you're going to be paying, 50 cents, 75 cents. You may even $3 tops, because if it's a rare seed brand or seed type that it's not like at every store you go into, then you kind of will pay $3 or more for a packet of seeds if it's not, a very common one, but you want it. And then you'll just try to save seeds from what you grow. But I think now's the perfect time, because all I see happening is they're going to go from 3 for $1.50 to 2 for $1.50. And then 1 for $1.50. And then there's no telling what else, okay? There's no telling what else. So I feel like it's something that it's not just a hobby. It's you can cut your bill, because when the garden starts producing, you really don't have to buy as many groceries, you don't, because you kind of supplement with what you're growing. Because if you put in the hard work to grow it, trust me, nothing's going to go to waste. You're going to find a way to use every single thing, even if we're talking about compost. So I was thinking today, for people who have never gardened, never grew anything, I said I was going to try to make a video, and I'm not good at making the videos and the how-to, and there's some really, really great creators out there, and I'm just a talker. That's it. But anyway, I have some wonderful ideas, and so I had this idea to get a milk carton or a milk jug, an empty one, and the purpose would be to show that you can start from scratch. You don't have to have a budget. You can literally do this for free. So if you take something out of your kitchen, it could be a container that you no longer use. It could be an empty milk jug. And then, you dig up some dirt out of your yard, basically. For 1 week, you keep your food scraps. If you peel a potato, keep it. If you crack some eggs, keep it. Put all of it in and just keep it in a bag or keep it in a bowl and cover it up. or what have you. And so let's say you eat a tomato that week, or you eat a bell pepper that week, or whatever you eat, and it had seeds. You take those seeds and you put them on a paper towel or a sheet of paper, and you let them dry out. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to take that dirt that you dug out of the yard, and then you're going to take those food scraps and you're going to just mash it up, mash it up. You can kind of stir it up too. And so what you're going to do, you're going to put it in the container, and then you're going to, get you some more dirt, just plain dirt. Okay. And you got to break it up and chop it up and things like that. Let's say you had a banana that week. Okay. You're going to stick that banana into a cup. You're going to pour some water over it. You're going to cut it into lots of pieces too. I always cut mine real finely too. And so you're going to take that and you're going to pour it onto the water or the soil at the very top. And you're going to take those seeds. No particular order. Just spread them out, pop them off, because they should be dried out. It's a combination of a lot of different seeds. So what you're going to do is you're going to take those seeds and spread them out in the container. Now, if you got multiple containers, you can use multiple containers, and you can put, one type of seed here, another type of seed here, or you can put it in one big thing or one thing and just see what actually germinates and grows. Whatever grows, let it grow. Now, the things that grow, when it gets to be about 6 inches tall, then it needs its own space. So now keep in mind, you're still keeping up with your cardboard, because cardboard can go at the bottom of your container. All you got to do is cut up little tissue paper rolls and paper towel rolls and tear up that cardboard. You can put it under the dirt, under the compost, whatever layer you put it in. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to give the seeds to germinate. Once they get 6 inches, you're going to give them their own container. And just going to keep on watering. You're going to keep on collecting your containers. You're going to keep on collecting your cardboard. You're going to keep on taking those banana peels and cutting them up, put it in a container, pour water over it, and just let it sit. And then pour it over to water your jug or your plant container. And just see what happens. You're going to be amazed. Now, did it cost you anything? No. It cost you some time though. Because I will say that when you're growing and gardening and reusing, recycling, it takes time. It's more time, but I think it's so worthwhile, because we're finding that a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we're eating, they have things on them. And, some of you are probably like me. You just, wash off your fruits and vegetables under some water. You don't soak them in baking soda water. You don't soak them in vinegar water. You do that quick little rinse and you pop it in your mouth, and you just move on. I have had the time to kind of listen to different studies. And one of the studies was they kept finding that non-smokers were actually having lung cancer or something. And then when they looked at their background and history, they were really, really healthy eaters. And, they were really health conscious and nutritional oriented. And the question would be, how in the world could this have happened? But come to find out, they ate lots of fruits and vegetables, but there are chemicals on those fruits and vegetables which causes cancer. And it affected the groups. It was actually lung cancer for them. And you might wonder, well, how could that be? Who knows? So I guess my point is, there's one thing about it. When you buy a strawberry plant, or you take strawberry seeds and you grow your strawberries in the backyard, you know that, a butterfly may have touched down, an ant may have touched down, some insect may have crawled on it. But truth be told, you don't have to worry about no special chemicals. Even let's say if you use a fish fertilizer, You might have a capsule of fish fertilizer with 2 gallons of water, and you're going around the roots at the bottom. And mind you, it's very, very, very diluted. And it's just kind of fish stuff. So my point is, if when you see it grow out your backyard. And I'm convinced that it moves through your body differently too. I think the things that people put on foods to preserve them are the very things that are causing it to be trapped in our system. That's my thought. And so I feel like any portion of your diet or your intake that you can grow yourself or get organic or get pesticide free, I think you're better off. And some people might say, well, I can't afford to eat that way. You can't afford not to eat that way, to be honest. But I do understand when you just don't have the money to do it, you have to find a way. You have to figure out a way. And, one thing I know is usually when I go out, there is just enough for what you need. Somehow, there's always just enough for what you need. So, so take the time. Take the time. So y'all know I told you guys that I grew my first flower, and it was a sunflower. And when I say it is beautiful, and now it has a friend. I mean, it is gorgeous. So every time I look out there, I'm excited about the cucumbers. I'm excited about the squash. But when I see those sunflowers, I'm like, oh, they are so pretty. Because, I'm known for fake flowers. I'll put some fake flowers on the porch, okay? I'll actually take a container, put a fake flower, put a real flower in there, have some leafy greens growing around it. I'll put multiple things in a pot, okay? So I don't have issue with fake flowers, but there's something about a beautiful one that you grow from a seed. It's like amazing thing that happens, and you start to anticipate. And so I realized that I did have, if I think about all the seeds I have, I would say that maybe 2% of the seeds I have are flowers. But when I say I'm sort of like increasing that, I might be at 5% about now, because I realized that they have a purpose, and the real ones are far more exciting than the artificial ones. Yeah. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am really, really enjoying my hobbies and diving into home remedies and holistic and natural healing ideas. And basically, what I'm finding is it's what they used to do. It's nothing new. It's stuff that was done long ago, but now we're just kind of revisiting. We're revisiting along with the scientific research. So they were spiritually led, in my opinion, because they knew stuff, and they didn't know why we didn't. All they did was, I guarantee you, they saw results. And then now we have the science behind it, and that's the fascinating part. We know why this particular flower has this reaction or results in this. It's amazing. So I don't know, whatever your interest is, keep on, do it. Keep learning, keep growing. And so I am so excited about my cucumbers I see. I'm so excited about my squash I see. My sunflowers. I've got to go purchase a new lawnmower, and this will be my first time purchasing a lawnmower. I'm going to get one that is, battery charged, where you just put the batteries on the charger, and you just kind of press the button. It'll be my first one like that. Because you know how the thing you have to pull? I don't know. For some reason, it just gets stuck. And then I remember there used to be a lawnmower man. A man that fixed lawnmowers. I mean, there are not a lot of people that just fix stuff. And I got a feeling they're making things different just so you can either buy a new one or not fix it yourself. Because you think about the stuff, people used to be able to get up on a car and make repairs and stuff, and now everything is looking foreign. It's like you got to go take it to a special place to get something fixed now. It's not a do-it-yourselfer kind of thing. Anywho, but I understand that, you know, you got to do it a certain way so that keep the economy going, basically. So with all this rain, I'm sure it's going to do plants and gardens a lot of good. I hope we don't get to the point where stuff starts decaying because there's too much rain. So happy gardening, happy growing, happy recycling, happy reusing. I hope everybody has a wonderful summer. You know, I can't say, yeah, yippee, my summer's beginning, because I'm about to start a new journey, actually. And so I'll be working this summer. And so who knows what, whether it will go into August, but we'll just have to see. But you know what? I'm going to find time to garden, because I tell you, it's been a delight. I'm going to find time and make time to do the things that bring me joy, peace, serenity, all those good feelings. Now, mind you, you would think that all that hard work outside, I would trim down just a little, but I'm still thick. Thick. Anywho, y'all, have a wonderful day. And you know what I said I was going to start doing? I said I was going to start dressing up like those gardeners. They be looking cute in their overalls and their little hat. And then they had their little colorful gloves. Although I never wear gloves. I be wanting the dirt on my hands. I be wanting the dirt. Anywho, and then I said, I want to start jotting down notes before I just get on there and start talking. So I really got to get organized, especially if I'm going to be just kind of doing videos, because it ain't nothing cute about me. It ain't nothing cute about my gardening, and it ain't nothing cute about me getting on this internet and talking. But when I do get on and I'm fancy, just know I got ready. I got ready. So I've been saying it for the longest, but it ain't happened yet. Okay, so but anywho, we're gonna see. So you're gonna be like, oh, look at Georgia. She just did something fancy. Now, I'm gonna be fruit and vegetable lit. I don't know, that might not be the right word, because my children be like, mama, not that word. Okay, y'all. I love you much. Stay happy, stay strong, stay in your lane. Do you hear me? Stay in your lane. And from my family to yours, happy summer. Until next time.